Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every stimulant on Earth had suddenly disappeared. No coffee, no tea, no energy drinks, no cigarettes, no ADHD medications, nothing. Within hours, millions of office workers would struggle to stay awake. Students would find it harder to focus. Night shift workers would be exhausted. Entire industries would slow down. It sounds impossible, but stimulants have become so deeply woven into modern life that most people barely notice them anymore. In fact, chances are you've already consumed one today. Maybe it was coffee, maybe tea, maybe an energy drink, or maybe something much stronger. For thousands of years, humans have searched for one thing: more energy, more focus, more productivity. And that search has changed the world. From ancient tea leaves to modern pharmaceuticals, stimulants have helped build empires, fuel wars, create billion-dollar industries, and transform human civilization. Today, we're exploring the fascinating story of every major stimulant and how they shape the world we live in. What are stimulants? At their core, stimulants are substances that increase activity in the brain and nervous system. In simple terms, they speed things up. They make you feel more awake, more alert, more focused. Most stimulants work by affecting powerful brain chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals control motivation, attention, and reward. That's why stimulants can feel so powerful. They don't just change your energy level. They change how your brain experiences the world. Humans discovered this effect thousands of years ago, long before anyone understood how the brain worked. Different civilizations found different plants that produced the same result: more energy, more alertness, and more productivity. That search led to the world's favorite stimulant: caffeine. The most widely used psychoactive drug on Earth isn't cocaine. It isn't nicotine. It's caffeine. Every day, billions of people consume caffeine in coffee, tea, soft drinks, and energy drinks. What's fascinating is that caffeine wasn't created for humans. Plants evolved it as a defense mechanism against insects. Humans simply discovered another use for it. According to legend, coffee was first discovered by an Ethiopian goat herder named Kaldi. One day, he noticed his goats becoming unusually energetic after eating certain berries. They jumped around, refused to sleep, and seemed almost hyperactive. Curious, Kaldi tried the berries himself. The rest is history. Whether the story is true or not, coffee eventually spread across the Middle East and later into Europe. Soon, coffee houses appeared everywhere. But these weren't just places to drink coffee. They became centers of conversation. Scientists gathered there, writers gathered there, businessmen gathered there. Ideas spread faster than ever before. Some historians even argue that coffee helped fuel the Enlightenment, one of the most important intellectual movements in history. For the first time, many people replaced alcohol during the day with a drink that increased alertness instead of reducing it. Coffee didn't just wake people up. It may have helped wake up entire societies. Tea. While coffee was spreading across Europe, another stimulant was quietly shaping world history: tea. According to Chinese legend, tea was discovered around 5,000 years ago when leaves accidentally fell into boiling water prepared for Emperor Shen Nong. The result became one of the most popular drinks ever created. Tea quickly became an important part of Chinese culture, but eventually the rest of the world wanted it too. European demand exploded. The British Empire became obsessed with tea. Trade routes expanded. Fortunes were made. Entire economies became dependent on it. Tea became so valuable that it influenced international politics and global trade for centuries. Today, tea remains the second most consumed beverage on Earth after water. A simple leaf helped shape the destiny of nations, but another plant would become even more influential and far more addictive: nicotine. Long before Europeans arrived in the Americas, indigenous peoples were already using tobacco. When explorers brought it back to Europe, demand exploded. Within a few centuries, tobacco had spread across the globe. The reason was nicotine. Nicotine reaches the brain in seconds and triggers dopamine release. For a short time, users feel alert, satisfied, and focused. The problem is that the brain quickly adapts. Over time, many users become dependent. By the early 20th century, smoking had become a worldwide phenomenon. Movie stars smoked. Athletes smoked. Even doctors appeared in cigarette advertisements. For decades, tobacco companies convinced people that smoking was sophisticated, modern, and even healthy. Then science revealed the truth. Smoking dramatically increased the risk of cancer, heart disease, and countless other illnesses. It became one of the largest public health crises in human history. Yet nicotine never disappeared. Today, it survives through vaping devices, nicotine pouches, and other modern products. The delivery system changed. The stimulant remained the same: energy drinks. Modern life moves fast, and energy drinks were designed to keep up. In the 1980s, a small beverage called Red Bull entered the market. At first, it seemed like just another drink. But Red Bull wasn't selling caffeine. It was selling excitement, skydiving, racing, extreme sports, adventure. The marketing was brilliant. Consumers weren't buying a beverage, they were buying an identity. Soon competitors appeared, Monster, Rockstar, and dozens of others. The energy drink industry exploded into a multi-billion-dollar market. Most energy drinks still rely on the same stimulant humans have used for centuries, caffeine, but they package it for a generation obsessed with speed, productivity, and performance, and for some people, even caffeine isn't enough. ADHD, medications, and amphetamines. Here's something that sounds completely backwards. Why would doctors prescribe stimulants to someone who struggles with hyperactivity? The answer lies in brain chemistry. People with ADHD often process attention and motivation differently. Certain stimulant medications help improve focus and concentration by balancing key neurotransmitters. For millions of people, medications like Adderall and Ritalin have been life-changing, but these drugs have an unusual history. Their chemical relatives, amphetamines, became famous during World War II. Military forces distributed stimulant pills to soldiers and pilots to help them stay awake longer and fight fatigue. At first, the results seemed impressive. Troops could remain active for extended periods. Pilots could fly longer missions. But the long-term consequences soon became clear. Dependence, sleep deprivation, psychological problems. The same stimulant that improved performance could also cause serious harm. And another stimulant would take this effect even further. Cocaine. High in the Andes Mountains, indigenous communities have chewed coca leaves for thousands of years. The leaves helped reduce fatigue and increase endurance. Then scientists isolated the active ingredient, cocaine. At first, many doctors viewed it as a medical breakthrough. Researchers praised it. Businesses sold products containing it. Public interest grew rapidly. But cocaine had a darker side. It produced a powerful surge of dopamine in the brain. Users experienced intense confidence and energy and euphoria. The feeling was incredibly powerful, but it didn't last. Many users began chasing the experience again and again. By the late 20th century, cocaine had become one of the most profitable illegal drugs in the world. Cartels built enormous criminal empires around global demand. Violence increased. Governments launched anti-drug campaigns. Yet demand remained strong, because few stimulants could match cocaine's intense effects. Except one, methamphetamine. If caffeine sits near one end of the stimulant spectrum, methamphetamine sits near the other. Meth can keep users awake for days, not hours, days. The drug produces massive increases in dopamine activity. Users often feel powerful, energetic, and unstoppable, at least temporarily. The consequences can be devastating. Severe addiction, paranoia, hallucinations, extreme sleep deprivation, and long-term damage to physical and mental health. Like many stimulants, methamphetamine originally had legitimate medical uses, but illegal production eventually spread worldwide. Today, it remains one of the most dangerous stimulants ever created. Yet even meth isn't the end of the story, because stimulants come in many forms. Some are surprisingly unknown. Lesser-known stimulants. Not every stimulant becomes a global phenomenon. In East Africa and parts of the Arabian Peninsula, millions of people chew cat leaves for their stimulating effects. In South America, people have consumed yerba mate for centuries. The drink contains caffeine and plays an important role in social life. Deep in the Amazon rainforest grows guarana, a plant whose seeds contain exceptionally high levels of caffeine. Many energy drinks still use it today. These examples reveal something fascinating. Nearly every civilization discovered its own stimulant. The desire for more energy appears to be universal, and now that desire is pushing humanity toward a completely new frontier. The future of stimulants. For thousands of years, humans relied on plants, coffee beans, tea leaves, tobacco, coca. Today, scientists are developing entirely new ways to enhance the brain. Nootropics, often called smart drugs, promise improved focus and cognitive performance. Researchers are exploring more targeted compounds designed to reduce side effects while improving concentration. Some experts even believe future brain-computer interfaces could one day enhance mental performance without drugs at all. The next generation of stimulants may look nothing like the stimulants of the past, but the goal remains exactly the same: more focus, more energy, more performance. Conclusion. From ancient tea ceremonies to futuristic laboratories, stimulants have shaped human history in ways most people never realize. They fueled empires, powered global trade, helped win wars, created billion-dollar industries, and transformed billions of lives, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. But they all reveal the same thing about human nature. For thousands of years, people have searched for ways to go further, work harder, think faster, and stay awake longer. The story of stimulants is ultimately the story of human ambition itself, and judging by where technology is heading, that story is only just beginning. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next story.